What's happening, my friends? Thank you and welcome back to another taping of Roadie Free Radio. I'm your host, Larry Milburn, the show where I talk to people behind the scenes of the music and film business. This is going to be episode number 56, and my guest today is Nite Bob. If you don't know who Nite Bob is, you're going to have to listen to the whole episode. He's a legend. I say it over and over again. Anyway, so I do the taping of the show, and the interviews are pre-recorded, but I do the intros here for you so you can see what happens behind the scenes, because this is a behind-the-scenes show. So I want to thank you for tuning in. If you like the videos, hit the like button. If you want to subscribe so you get notified every time a new one pops out, hit the subscribe button, man. And I definitely want to hear from you guys if you have questions, how I do the podcast, how I get my interviews, all that kind of good stuff. You can leave it in the comments below, or you can write to me directly at info@roadiefreeradio.com. We got a long episode to do today, so I'm going to jump right in. All right, here we go. A couple technical things, just so you know. We're recording this on a Canon 5D Mark III. I'm using the EOS Live View here to capture so I can see myself. And I've got Adobe Audition running over here to get the podcast. And I've got a Word document up with my show notes. All right, that's basically the setup that I use. And I'm just going to adjust my chair. Oh. Okay, there we go. I like to sit upright, good posture and all that. Okay, here we go.
What's happening, roadies? This is Nate Bob.
This is Rebecca Wilson.
Hey, what's up, roadies? This is Nite Bob. You're listening to Roadie Free Radio.
What's up, roadies? My name is Larry Milburn, and this is Roadie Free Radio, your VIP pass to meet and greet the stars behind the scenes of the music and film business. What's going on, roadies? All right, welcome to episode number 56. I'm your host, Larry Milburn, and we are taping for YouTube. As you know, you can always tune in to our YouTube channel to check out what it looks like behind the scenes of me doing the intros and whatnot for the show. I get into a little bit more detail about the stuff that I'm using, but there it is. And I am coming to you from a barn in Northwest Connecticut. Happy day, my friends. I hope you all had a wonderful week. Listen, man, we had a big week here at the Roadie Free Radio camp. Folks, because of you, we have kicked ass through the 10,000 all-time listen mark on the show. So since the life of the show, we've reached an audience of over 10,000 listeners. And I want to thank you all for tuning in week after week. Thank you so much, by the way, for all of your comments and love for last week's episode with Bobby Tees. Of course, if you have not heard that, Bobby Tees is the longtime veteran monitor and recording engineer and guitar tech for the Tedeschi Trucks band. So go over and check it out. I've also gotten some questions in the last week about Bill Hanley and questions for Bill Hanley. And I've addressed a couple of those things. I'm going to forward some of that stuff on to John Kane and Bill Hanley. Bill Hanley, of course, if you're just tuning in, you don't know who that is. He was our 50th episode, and he was the original sound guy. He was the sound guy for the first Woodstock Festival in '69. We taped it at Daryl's house. Go back, check it out. It's on the YouTube channel. Of course, it's here on the podcast as well. But I've gotten some questions for him, and that made me think, you know what, man? If you guys have questions after an interview, please don't hesitate to write. Just because the episode's been done does not mean that we can't circle back to a guest and ask those questions. So please hit me up with those. info@roadiefreeradio.com. Maybe you want to ask, Robert Scoville something, and you don't know how to get to him or whatnot. Just shoot me an email, and I can forward it to Robert, and we can get that question answered. That was the first thing. Let's see. So yeah, man. So hit me up with those things. And I also, don't forget, Sound Girls. We got a lot of events to hit today. You know what? Let me just take a second. All right. I want to tell you something. I'm exhausted. I had my son the entire week this week, and he's a good boy. We had a good time, but the wheels on the bus have definitely come off. Daddy is a little tired. It was a lot of beach time. So if I mince up my words today, it's because I'm just tired. I'm just working through it, guys. I don't know how single parents do it. God bless you. I love you. I've only got one kid, and I'm exhausted, but that's okay. It's good. It's a good exhaustion. You know what I mean? All right, Sound Girls. Here we go. We're getting into the last few weeks before this event kicks off at the Paper Box in Brooklyn, August 14th through the 18th. Send your child off to sound camp with some real professionals. August 14th through the 18th at the Paper Box in Brooklyn, New York. Kids ages 14 through 18, boys and girls. Oh, no, not 14 through 18, 12 through 18. You see, my mind is slipping, folks. My mind is slipping. So that is a very cool time, mentored by a lot of very, very cool people. Check that out. We also have a few other things coming up. Camp Cripple Creek. Our good friend Jim Weeder and his cohorts in the Weight Band, Brian Mitchell, Marty Greb, Michael Brahm, and Albert Rogers are going to be hosting an awesome, awesome event called Camp Cripple Creek. And that is taking place, let's pull it up, August 21st through the 25th, celebrating the music and history of the band up in Woodstock. There are some very cool special guests: John Sebastian, Maria Muldaur, Happy Traum, Larry Packer, Elliot Landy, and many, many more to be announced. It's basically like rock camp, but you dig deep into the catalog of the band, and you're doing it with people who knew these guys, who recorded these guys, who recorded with these guys. And I can't go. How about that, man? I can't make it, but I wish I could. August 21st through the 25th at the Full Moon Resort. You can find out more by going to campcripplecreek.com. Also, our good friends of the Magpie Salute are they are back from their European leg of their tour. And July 26th, they're kicking off their North American dates in Indianapolis, Indiana, and then they got a bunch of good shows coming up. I will be at the Hartford show August 4th, Infinity Hall. I hope to see some of you there. We're going to be doing some cool stuff. As you know, our good buddies Doug Redler, Drew Consalvo, Randy Brown. If you haven't heard those interviews yet, circle back, find those. August 4th. Infinity Hall, Hartford, Connecticut. I'll be there. Look for me. Come and say hello. Very excited to see those guys. What else we got? I got a couple of really cool... I found some really cool other sites that do some sort of similar things to what we do here at Roadie Free Radio. I want to give them a shout out. DigitalTourbus.com. These guys are cranking out 3 videos a day, behind-the-scenes videos a day. I don't know how they're doing it. They mostly focus on bands and whatnot and what goes on behind the scenes of the band itself. So digitaltourbus.com, check them out, as well as stagehandsclothing.com, stagehandsclothing.com. And I'm not sponsored by any of these folks. I just thought what they were doing was pretty cool. Stagehandsclothing.com. Of course, they're making gear and clothing for folks in the industry. A lot of blacks. Wear a lot of black clothing. You know, get your show blacks out. What else do we have? I got a big week coming up. I'm heading back this Thursday. Tom Petty Camp, my friends. I'm going to Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers Camp, Forest Hills Stadium, to check out another show, but more importantly, to sit down with monitor mixer Greg Looper and production manager Chris Adamson. As I've said, I've been waiting to get these interviews because I thought it'd be a nice way to time. We had a great talk with Robert Scoville a few weeks ago. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to check back in with some of the other members of the audio team and whatnot and get that perspective. So I will be doing that this Thursday. If you're going, let me know. Give me a shout. info@roadiefreeradio.com. What else? I got a few other things on the list here. Linkin Park suffered a big blow this week. Chester Bennington took his own life. I'm sure you've all heard by now. And a big bummer. Just overall, it seems like every week we're losing somebody, and you're not alone out there, folks. Remember, no matter how dark it gets, you are not alone. Pick up the phone, send a text to somebody. All right? People love you. You got a lot of love out there for you, no matter who you are. All right. One last thing. I'm changing the uploads that go up to SoundCloud to MP3s. I got a note that the WAV files are a little big, I guess, so trying to download those is a tough thing. So I'm going to export things and make them into MP3s. I hope that helps. Let me know. All right? Leave me a note in the old description. Okay, here we go. Today's episode's a long one. I want you to buckle up and get ready, okay? Nite Bob. Nite Bob, Nite Bob. People told me, you got to get an interview with Nite Bob. I said, who the hell's Nite Bob? I tried to look him up. I couldn't find much about him. And then the next day, he actually reached out to me, said he was a fan of the show. This was totally separately and random. He just reached out. He had somehow caught an episode. Maybe it was Scoville. And so I went to SIR Studios in New York City. We sat down and chatted it up for a while. It was a long interview. I don't usually edit the interviews, but this was about 2 hours, and I needed to cut it down a bit. So there's a lot that we didn't get to, my friends. Bob and I really got into some stuff, and we didn't even scratch the surface of his incredible, incredible life. He's been with the New York Dolls, Emerson Lake and Palmer, Iggy and the Stooges, Aerosmith, Rich Robinson, Steely Dan, Ace Frehley, Kiss, Led Zeppelin, and it just goes on and on and on. So check out the link in the description on the show notes. All right, you click his name, it'll go to his site. You can find some things about him out there, but it is tough. So I think we're going to have to circle back to Nite Bob is what I'm trying to say. All right, so listen, here's what I want you to do. I want you to get out your coffee. I want you to crack open a beer. I want you to roll up whatever your favorite smoking paraphernalia situation is and kick it on back. The back of the bus with our good friend, Nite Bob. That's it. That's the show. That's what we do here at Roadie Free Radio. All right? Thank you guys for watching, for giving me your 15 minutes here to tune in. Now, don't forget to watch the full or listen to the full episode. Hit the SoundCloud link in the description below. That will take you to the file. You can listen to that. You can download it, listen to it at another time if you don't have time right now. There are other goodies in the description to click on. If you want to send me some stuff to check out, to review, go right ahead, man. I'll check it out. I'm good with that. There's an address down there below. What else do I have to tell you about? I'm going to give you guys the Audible code this week. If you like to listen to books on your device, your iPad, your iPhone, whatever it is, your Samsung Galaxy, go to audibletrial.com/roadiefreeradio. Use the code roadiefreeradio when you check out. You'll get a free 30-day trial, a free download of any book that you want, and your subscription will take off from there. It's my little gift to you. You know what I'm saying? All right? Check out the website, roadiefreeradio.com. A lot of good stuff on there and a lot of good stuff in the show notes about Nite Bob if you are interested in learning a bit further. All right? This show comes out every week, every Monday. You can tune in and find us. Don't forget to subscribe to the show. Thank you for watching. And no roadies, no rock and roll.